Yep, I get it. It really sucks from being exhausted and overwhelmed from sensory overload. Being an empath or a highly sensitive person can feel like a curse rather than a gift. You're wide open to all the feels, and you spend a lot of your time wishing you could just get away from it all. The loud sounds, the screaming kids, the smell of perfume, the energy vampires that drain your energy, and the anxiety of being around a lot of people, and even the Wi Fi and the radiation of cell phone towers. You can feel it all. And I understand because for most of my life, this has been me. I grew up with the time spent living off grid out in Alaska, in the bush of Alaska. And we did not have electricity. We didn't have, or telephones even. And there was no such thing as cell phone towers or laptop computers then. And I could even hear the nearest helicopter coming out to see us from miles away. It was so quiet. But that all changed over time, and we moved back to town and back into modern life that crept in. This is when I really started having some serious sensory overload issues that I couldn't explain. I went on restrictive diets and hid myself away from the public as much as possible, and I was really lonely. I thought I had social anxiety, but it turns out that I was actually just had sensory overload. My senses had been completely overwhelmed. And when I moved to the city to go to school, this is when it really got worse. My health and my physical strength even really took a dive. I was doing massage therapy, which I absolutely loved. It was my passion and my joy for my profession, and I had to quit due to physical pain and injuries. And I just thought it was me and that I was just too sensitive and taking on the problems of the world. But what I didn't know then was that I was also electrosensitive and EMF radiation and chemical sensitive. So all of these environmental toxins just made everything worse. All of my sensitivities got worse, and they really became nearly unbearable. So that's when I ended up quitting. I had to quit my life in the city, and I moved back to my little safe haven in my small town, away from it all, and it was miserable. I mean, I felt better enough to be able to function, but I was also lonely, and there were other things I wanted to do with my life. Um, and then I started learning, and I just kept learning, and I was researching, and I learned about environmental sensitivities, and so I learned how to avoid them. I filtered my water. I ate my food in what I called as close to the dirt as I could, but I still lived in avoidance of modern life and was unable to do some of the things I wanted. And the problem didn't get better. I just got better at avoiding the triggers. And that is until I started finding solutions. I found natural technology. I found self coaching techniques and ways to reconnect with nature indoors and outdoors safely. And that's when I realized, how far from myself that I had gotten. It's really, it's not until we feel the relief of something that we've been struggling with for a long time that we realize just how bad it's been. I was really unable to connect deeply with my natural gifts. And, these are the plus side of being highly sensitive empathic. There's actually a gift underneath all of this, and that's, our intuition and our passion and our joy for life, and loving and giving nature, and compassion and empathy is, it's a gift to be used for the highest good. But it can really, for me, it really took a lot of these things I had a hard time connecting with, and they took a back seat to my survival. But I never gave up, and I kept researching and learning to find solutions. Um, and this is why I'm here today, to help you to stop the insanity of sensory overload, exhaustion, and to get your natural connection back with nature and your inner self. So, and by reconnecting with nature and your natural healing abilities, everything gets better when you have your inner nature realigned. And my life has been improving drastically. It's continuing to improve as I have bringing these things into my own world. And if this sounds like you, I would like to invite you to connect. You can find me online at ecowisewellness.org or ecowisehealingboutique.wordpress.com. I also am on Substack at ecowisewellness.substack.com and on Telegram at EcoWiseWellness. And you can also feel free to reach me by email at ecowisewellness@protonmail.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. I look forward to hearing from you.